This one right here is called the herringbone ladder filling stitch. And it's a little bit like a double palestrina, but it's super important on this one that your main stitches back here are offset. So I want you to look at that, and you can see that this stitch right here and ends where the stitch starts, and it ends where this stitch starts. So they're offset in where they match up, and that's important to do in your planning when you're marking for the stitches. And these are the same way. They're also offset. This one starts here, ends here, the same place this one starts. It ends where this one starts and ends where this one starts. So that planning is important before you start. Okay, right here, I have marked these stitches. And in order to do that, what I did both on my mitten and what I did today, I took my little ruler here and I marked a 1/4 of an inch long stitch and then skip a 1/4 and then mark a 1/4 of an inch and then skip a 1/4, mark a 1/4, skip a 1/4, mark a 1/4, skip a 1/4, mark a 1/4. And then on this side, I lined it up oppositely. So I actually lined it up down they were a 1/2 inch apart on the sample. And then I skipped a 1/4, mark a 1/4, skip a 1/4, mark a 1/4. Then you can go ahead and get those back stitches in place, and then we'll talk about how to do the weaving. So go ahead and get those back stitches ready to go. Okay, now I have my back stitches, or in this case, they're far enough apart, they're running stitches in place. I'm ready to begin the weaving part of this herringbone ladder filling stitch. So this one starts, you can see that they're offset. So start with the longer one. Now, I should tell you, when I am working on a mitten like this one, I'm going to turn it the right way so that you can see. When the stitch is going to run off the edge of the page or off the edge of the mitten, I do not start there. The reason being that I don't know, I have a hard time getting the rhythm of it going if I'm not sure exactly where it's supposed to start. So I always start at the first whole stitch, and then I go back later and just add an extra stitch to make it look good there. Same thing for these guys. I don't mess with here. I start with the first whole stitch. So I would start with this one and go, and then later I'll go back and just add some extra little straight stitches to make it look right. Okay, let's get to this one. So if this one were off the edge of the page or something was off the edge of the page over here, that's how I do it. You come out right below your first stitch, and then you go around and down through that one. And you'll notice that you're going down through to the left of where it was. And now we're going to bring our thread this way, bring it too far, past the next stitch. And while you're holding it past the next stitch, you go back up. Now see, we're crossing over top of that stitch, and that's what gives it the little spin right there that looks right. So hold it further than you're going, and pull it down through. Put your thread out beyond the next stitch and down through. Now this one, because these stitches are this far apart and you're pulling it, could pucker your fabric if you're not careful. If you're doing it on this one, you've got, your layers, you've got your wool, you've got your fabric on top of it, your cotton or your linen on top of it, and then you've got your wool mitten on top of it. That's enough layers that you're not going to have to worry about it. But here on my little sample one, I will. Now remember, you have to take that thread past so that when you go down through, it gives you that little twist. Down through to give the little twist, down through, beyond, and down through. Okay, I want to make sure that I got to the end of this one so that I could show you. Again, I'm going to go beyond and go down through. But if the edge of my, whatever shape I'm filling with this, if my edge is, let's say, right here, so there's not going to be enough room for another stitch, this is where I just lay it so that it looks like the ones before it. It looks like that's about the right angle, and that's how I know where to go down through to end it.